I'm going to start by just sharing. So I think all of you probably who are on this call know that I've been involved in this Speaker Slam, and thank you for those of you who voted. One of the things that I've noticed in this past week, because I've been playing it, like I've been sort of accessing that talk several times, and it's really got me, it put me sort of back in a place that I don't like being. And it happens to me, you know, time and time again, but I'm not stuck in that place. But sometimes I do sort of wallow in it a bit. And I said to Philip yesterday, that is not the place I choose to be. And so I need to do some letting go work. And so that's what we've decided to do for today, is some letting go work, which is a little selfish on my part, but I think for all of us, we find ourselves from time to time in places where we have to let go of things because we hang on to them, they get in our way. They could be things from the past. They can be something as simple as, you know, I'm really focusing on the fact that I can't go wherever I want. So what I'm thinking of all the time is I can't go wherever I want. And that's something that we can hang on to, and then it impacts our day-to-day living. So I'm gonna share my screen and play a 3-minute clip of Jon Kabat-Zinn. And my background here is Mount Madonna, it's near San Jose, California. And I chose this background for a reason. I had the opportunities to sit with Jon Kabat-Zinn for a week at Mount Madonna. And so I thought I'm just gonna put myself in a nice place there. So I'm going to share this video, and then we'll do a quick little meditation, and then Philip is going to chime in. So I hope this works for us. It will. I do have to say the volume on this video is not great, so you probably have to maybe lean in a bit.
Letting go, we could think of as the opposite of clinging or grasping. There's a certain way in which when we want something, we grasp it, we cling to it, even if it's an idea. And very often we get very fixated in that kind of way. Letting go is reminding us that it's possible to actually not get involved in grasping and clinging to what we want and trying to push away what it is that we don't want. Because it's inevitable that things will arise that are unpleasant, and we'll want to push those away, and that other things will arise and they'll be pleasant. We'll want to hold on to them. So letting go really means letting be. It means allowing things to be as they are, and not by being too caught up in having to have them be a certain way when the evidence is they already are not that way. So therefore not forcing. It of course goes with not striving as well, allowing things to be as they are. In India, they sometimes use a particular way of trapping monkeys, where they take a coconut and they cut a small hole in one end, and then they tie the coconut with a wire to the base of a tree, and they put a banana inside the coconut, and then monkeys come down from the trees and they put the hand in the coconut. But the hole is crafted so that if you grasp the banana, you can't get your hand out of the hole. The fist is too big. So you have to let go of the banana to actually release your hand. So the monkeys don't let go, and that's how they're trapped.
Because you sign on it.
Sign me, and then
But letting things be as they are means allowing the recognition that when you are caught by your own desire, by your own attachment to things being a certain way, that's painful. But that the letting go is actually the doorway to freedom. And it's something that you don't do once. It's something that you practice over and over and over again, moment by moment by moment. Every time you catch yourself clinging to something, you remind yourself it's possible to just let it be, and to just let it go. The breath can remind us of that, because because every time we take a breath in, we have to let it go. Because otherwise there's no room for the next breath. So it's a natural part of life to receive and then release. Receive and let go.
So I just want to invite you to drop into your breath, closing your eyes as we always do. Finding that point in your body where the breath is giving us life, where the breath is giving us strength. The rising and falling, and the letting go. Letting go to make room for more breath. Letting go to make room for what is here right now in this moment. Letting go of the things that we've clung to from the past and that we are worrying about for the future. Just finding the beauty of this exquisite moment right here, right now. The peace that we all have within us. The inner wisdom, the inner love, the inner peace. Breathing in and breathing out.
The previous one. And you begin to notice that as you observe and witness this miraculous symphony of your body, physical, performing its perfect function, you begin to notice that you feel very relaxed and at ease. Your limbs, your arms and legs feel perfectly positioned. You notice that your hips and your pelvis are supported in the perfect position for you. And your torso is supported, and you feel just so relaxed and at ease. Your shoulders and your neck are relaxed. And you notice that your head, including your chin in your jaw, in your mouth, in your cheeks, and your eyes. They are relaxed. And you notice now that you're relaxed from the top of your head right down to the tips of your toes. There's nothing to strive for. You simply being in this moment. And as you breathe in and out, with each breath you become just a little more relaxed, a little more at ease. And as you continue this rhythm that you have practiced many times now during our time together on this collective call, once again I invite you to begin to see in your marvelous mind, your miraculous mind, beginning to imagine yourself once again rising up in your mind from the position that you're in, and you walk towards the doorway that has appeared just before you. You open the door and you step through. And like in our previous times together, you begin to notice that you're outside in nature. Once again, you're on a pathway. This pathway is a little different from the pathway that you experienced last week and a few weeks earlier. This pathway curves gently around, and you set out walking on this path. You notice each step on the ground. You are still connected with Mother Earth through the soil and the ground and the grass. There are trees and bushes on either side of you, and the pathway curves round. And you continue walking, and you notice that up ahead there is another pathway that is intersecting with your path. And as you walk towards this other pathway, you're aware that on this path there are people that you recognize, that you know. Perhaps they are people from some time distance. Perhaps they are people that you have recently met. And as you continue walking on your path, at a particular moment, both of your paths intersect with each other, and you greet the person who is walking on their path, and you exchange words and experiences. Perhaps you even share things with each other. And after a few moments, you continue walking upon your path, and they continue walking on their path. And your path continues along down a pleasant incline, up a gentle hill, round and about, through trees and bushes once again. And then up ahead, you notice that there's yet another path that is intersecting with your pathway. And somebody else that you know is on this path. And as you continue your walk, your journey, your adventure, your pathway merges for a moment with theirs, and you are able to speak and exchange and experience them as they are you. And this experience enables you to share things. Perhaps you're sharing things that you found on your pathway. Perhaps they may be interesting objects, stones that you found. Maybe some of the stones are precious. Perhaps there's some flowers and buds and fruits that you found, and even some twigs that you found and you are now sharing with this person who's intersected on your pathway, and they are sharing things with you that they have found that you have never seen before. And imagining what this sharing might be like. They have traveled from a different direction, and they have a different experience. So this means that your understanding and your knowledge is now enriched by their experience, by their journey. And you share these gifts, you're sharing and sharing. You linger perhaps because you're enjoying the time. And then there comes a time where you continue on your journey. And now you continue up a hill, and they continue on their separate pathway. Perhaps for a time, their pathway is parallel to yours, and you can wave and smile at each other for a distance, and then the pathways go further apart and you go in a slightly different direction for a while. You go up the hill and down a gentle hill, and then you come to the edge of a great canyon, and the pathway goes right to the edge, and you're able to look for some distance, for many miles perhaps. It's a breathtaking view. Across the canyon, are more trees and rocks. Down below there's a river. Perhaps you might see birds. Perhaps you might identify some of the birds that are flying in this canyon. Maybe an eagle actually flying beneath you because you are high, perched on the edge of this canyon. It is a breathtaking view. You enjoy the view. And then after lingering at the edge of this canyon, your pathway turns in another direction and goes down the hill. And you continue through glades of trees. There are some fallen tree trunks that you have to climb over. Some of the tree trunks are quite large. On one of the tree trunks, you actually scratch your leg as you step over. One of the branches has scratched your skin. It hurts for a moment. But you continue, and you continue walking and walking. And then as you look up to view the blue sky above you and the sun shining through, you feel something soft under your foot. And you realize you stepped in the droppings of a deer. There is now poop on your feet. And you notice this, and you continue on. From this point, you're being a little more careful as to where you put your feet, avoiding sharp stones and objects in your path. And you continue. You're really now enjoying your path. And then you notice up ahead, there's another pathway that is intersecting with yours. And someone is rushing towards this intersection, and you recognize them. And they are hurrying by, and you fleetingly acknowledge each other, and you feel their energy, which seems to you to be in turmoil. And they rush by on their pathway. And as they do so, you take a deep, refreshing breath, thankful that you are in this place of peace and ease on your journey, on your adventure. And then you continue along your pathway, which looks familiar because you may have been here before. This pathway is now gently sloping down the hillside. There are pleasant grasses on either side and trees. And at the bottom of this hill, you notice again that there's a refreshing stream. And now, as you get to the stream, you're able to freshen your hands and your face. It's cool. It's refreshing. You can even drink the water because it's so pure. And you linger for moments sitting on a warm rock on the edge of this stream. And then you allow your feet to dangle into the waters. And the waters refresh your feet. And they carry away the poop that you've stepped in. And you realize that on your journey and on your adventure, all the time you've been meeting people on your pathway, and that you've been sharing experiences. You realize that you've been carrying a bag, a great big wicker bag, and you've been carrying the objects that you've exchanged with the people you've known. And you didn't realize that they were in this bag. There are sticks and stones and objects of interest. There are plants and berries, perhaps, all kinds of things. You notice that some of the stones are very heavy. They are beautiful, but they are heavy. Some are shiny, some are smooth, some are a little jagged. And all this time you realized you were carrying this bag. And it wasn't until you sat down and allowed your feet to be refreshed in the stream, and to allow the stream to carry away the poop that was on your feet, that you realized that you had been carrying this bag. And you're thankful for the bag because it contains all of the memories, all of the experiences that are symbolized in your exchanges with the people that you've known. And now you come to the realization that this bag is indeed heavy. You've noticed that it was fatiguing you. You've been switching sides, moving the bag from one side of your body to the other. And you have only just become aware of that right now. And then you look at the bag that is next to you, and you realize it's a big, sturdy bag filled with the objects. And you realize now that you no longer have need to carry this bag. It is perfectly fine to leave this bag by the side of the stream. It is made of a plant material, so over time it'll degrade, and all of the objects will simply become one with the earth again. So you behold the bag and you decide that it is time to leave this bag. And you stand up from your position, your feet and feeling very refreshed because they've been washed in the sparkling stream. And you step forward, leaving your bag behind. And you realize that as you step across the stream, you are suddenly lighter. The stream has widened since you were here before. And you notice that as you cross the stream, you have greater balance now because you are not carrying the heavy bag. You notice that both of your arms are free. There is no strain upon you. Your feet can find their position in the stream with great ease. You continue across the stream. It's getting a little deeper. It's above your ankles, below your knees, and you continue to stride across the stream. And the stream is refreshing, and you have perfect balance. Both of your arms are free. Suddenly your shoulders feel relaxed. Your neck is freed. Your head feels as if it's floating because it is so relaxed. And then you continue across the stream. You climb up the gentle embankment, and you turn around and you see some distance away, there is your bag, and it is already beginning to merge with the earth. And at that moment you turn around and continue up the gentle slope on your pathway, and you notice that the pathway has suddenly become easier for you to ascend. You swing both of your arms. You raise them both to your shoulders and above your shoulders. You raise your arms and hands to the sky, and you feel so free and light. It is a wonderful feeling. You are now experiencing a part of your journey where you are free and light. You notice that there's a feeling of joy rising up in you that you have never experienced quite so much before. Each time you breathe in, you smile. It is a wondrous and astonishing feeling for you. You find you can easily stride up the steepest part of the hill because you have released your burden. There is no burden. You are free to enjoy this segment of your adventure. You know that all of your life is an adventure. You know that each time you take a step forward and you feel the earth beneath your feet, and you feel the energies of the earth of which you are a part, you know that all is well right in this moment. No matter what other adventures arise, you now have the strength and the capability to easily meet whatever comes along, because you are fully balanced. There is no burden. There is nothing to weigh you down. You can meet any challenge. Up ahead, you notice that a tree has fallen across your path. There are branches rising up from the fallen tree trunk. And as you get closer and closer to the tree trunk, you find yourself beginning to trot. And now you're running. And now as you get to the tree trunk, you actually leap into the air and easily jump over the tree trunk. Above the rough boughs and bark of the tree, and you are unscratched. You are astonished because on the previous times where you've crossed the fallen tree trunks, you have been scratched. Now you have leapt into the air and you have been carried over the obstacle by your own strength and agility and your talents and abilities within. And you alight on the ground on the other side of the tree trunk, and you smile, knowing that you can meet any challenge because you are free, you are unencumbered. You can't recall a time where you have felt so light. And then you continue along the pathway. You notice some smooth boulders up ahead. You're easily able to navigate through them and around them because your balance is now perfect. And both of your arms are free to support you. It is a most delicious feeling, and you find yourself smiling and enjoying this new found freedom. And then you continue on, and you recognize another glade of trees up ahead. And you lean back against one of your trees that have now become familiar to you. And you're able to put both of your hands on the tree behind you. There is no burden, both feet on the ground. And you lean back and you savor this delicious oneness with Mother Earth. And you know within your being that you are free. This is a choice that you have made. And for the next little while, you can now savor this feeling, this oneness once again with Mother Earth, recalling the lightness and the joy that you experienced when you leapt across the obstacle in your path. The refreshing feeling of having your feet cleansed in the stream and leaving the burdens behind. Your marvelous mind now recalls only the most delicious, the most uplifting experiences from your journey. And as you do so, you find your spirit soaring in joy and peace. And for the next 10 minutes or so, you are free to savor this full experience.
May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings find peace.
If you want to talk about